Hello everybody, welcome back once again to this video lecture series of GST with Nihal. As seen in the previous video as well, we would be continuing with our list of exemptions. We had understood that the government is willing to give you an exemption provided you do either say a social work and are a person who is under Section 12AA of the Income Tax Act, that is a trust. So your work is to do charity and you do charity and donations. Or if the supplier of the said services is the government itself, at places the recipient of the said services is the government. Also, in order to promote the banking as well as the insurance sector, the government has also given certain sort of exemptions to the banking as well as the insurance sector, as well as to people who are providing intermediary services in the said line. Continuing with our list further today as well, we would be seeing as to what are the further exemptions which have been provided by the government. Now, please note, if you understand all the entries which we have discussed till now, they are fairly and squarely covered in the meaning of services. However, the government has provided with an exemption to it. So now let us continue. Serial number 39B. Services by an intermediary of financial services. So here an intermediary is nothing but an agent. Here you have granted an exemption to the services of an agent located in a multi-service SEZ with IFSC status. So here the services are of agent, that location has to be in a SEZ, plus it should have an IFSC status. Now please note, whether it is an SEZ, it has an IFSC status or not, it would be provided to you, to a customer located outside India. So your customer or the recipient is outside India. For what? Or rather, what is your service? For international financial services in currencies other than INR. So आपने उसको कोई financial services दी है in currency other than INR. Just a second. Shivi, there is some somewhere that I'll have to, just rush off. So just give me 5 minutes. I will be back in 5 minutes time. So please stay online. Okay. Okay. Hello. So the services here were financial services in currencies other than INR, which means that your consideration has to be in a currency other than INR. Is the service clear?
Yes, sir.
For the purpose of this entry, what do you mean by the term intermediary in a IFSC? It is because ये यहाँ पर कौन है? सर्विस प्रोवाइडर. एंड जैसा कि मैं हमेशा ही बोलता हूं, जब भी आप एग्जेम्पशन का टॉपिक देखते हो, सर्विस प्रोवाइडर इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाता है, सर्विस रेसिपिएंट इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाता है, प्लस आपकी सर्विस इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाती है. सो हु इज एन इंटरमीडियरी इन ऑफ अ फाइनेंशियल सर्विस? वन who is permitted or recognized by Government of India for regulation of IFSC, who is treated as a person resident outside India. Again, the word is who is treated as a person. So it can be a situation wherein the person is actually in India, but for the FEMA Acts or under the FEMA Acts, that person is treated outside India. Who is registered under IRDA as an IFSC insurance officer and who is permitted by SEBI. So if you understand, FEMA can have an officer, IRDA, that is Insurance Regulatory Development Authority, can have an officer, plus SEBI can have an officer. So of it, these are the persons who are intermediary of financial services for the purpose of this entry. I hope the entry is clear. And the meaning of the term intermediary of financial services is also clear. Entry number 40, I believe, is already covered. So now let us come to 41. Upfront amount paid. So obviously there is something called as upfront amount. It can be called as premium. It can be called as salami, etc. Upfront amount paid or payable in respect of services by way of granting of long-term lease. So what is the service over here? Long-term lease. So एक long-term lease आप खरीदने वाले हो, उसके लिए आप एक upfront amount पे कर रहे हो, ये यहाँ पे हो रहा है. तो आपको सर्विस कौन सी मिल रही है? लीज की. उसके अगेंस्ट में आप जनरली दो चीज पे करोगे, एक प्रीमियम पे करोगे और दूसरा आप रेगुलर रूटीन पेमेंट्स करोगे. एग्जेम्पशन किसको मिला है? अपफ्रंट अमाउंट की. Payable in respect of services by way of granting of long-term lease of 30 years or more of industrial plots or plots for development of infrastructure for financial business provided by the state government. So who is the service provider? State government. State Government Insurance Development Corporation, that is nothing but SIDBI or undertakings, or by an entity having 50% or more ownership of the government. So basically here government undertaking is providing a long-term lease service for which an upfront premium or salami is charged. Now, who is the recipient over here? Is there any things mentioned about the recipient? No. So the recipient can be any person. The recipient can be a business entity. Is the purpose of this lease specified? For that, let us read the entire entry in a single upfront amount called as premium, salami, cost, price, development charges, or by any other name called payable in respect of service by way of granting of long-term lease of 30 years or more of industrial plots or plots for development of infrastructure for finance business. So what is the purpose? That the industrial plot or plot has to be for development of infrastructure for financial business. I hope I am clear. Next, 41A. Now, if I ask you to read this, you would be like, Nihal, it will get a bit difficult. क्या है भाई? सीधे सीधे समझा दे. I'll tell you what it is. जो आपकी एंट्री है ना, the entry is this much. After that, they have given you a mechanism as to how to calculate the exemption or how to calculate the tax so paid. Okay. So now let us read and understand what the entry is. After that, ignoring all of the things given below, I'll give you a short way as to how to calculate the exemption as well as how to calculate the tax so paid. Services by way of transfer of development right. It has to be after, on or after 1/4/19. For construction of residential apartments by a promoter intended for sale to buyers wholly or partially, except where the entire amount is received after the issuance of completion certificate or after its first occupation, whichever is earlier. So यहाँ पर क्या हो रहा है आपका TDR transfer हो रहा है. What is getting transferred is the transfer development. Okay. Why is this TDR getting transferred? It is for construction of residential apartment. Now, who can transfer it? It can be anybody. It can be the society. It can be the landowner as well. Now, the question is, how will I calculate the amount of exemption that is available? क्योंकि आपने ये सेम चीज आपके RCM में भी देखी. तो RCM की अमाउंट कैसे कैलकुलेट होगी और exemption की अमाउंट कैसे कैलकुलेट होगी? There is something that we are seeing. The amount of exemption available for construction shall be calculated as under. So ये formula है. This is the formula. कैसे कैलकुलेट होगा? Calculate what? 1. GST payable on TDR. 2. Calculate what is the carpet area. Okay. And 3, calculate carpet area of residential accommodation, and 3, calculate the total carpet area. So obviously it has to be 1 into 2 by 3. Now what is this? What are you trying to tell me exactly? The thing that I am trying to tell you is कि जब भी कोई रेसिडेंशियल बिल्डिंग बनती है या रेसिडेंशियल अपार्टमेंट बनता है, at that point of time you make residential accommodation plus you also make certain commercial shops. So the benefit of exemption, the exemption is restricted to the residential accommodation and it is not available to the commercial shops. The thing is, it is not yet complete. Say for example, आपका जो total area है, total carpet area is say 1000 square feet. उसमें residential area is say 900 square feet and commercial area is say 100 square feet. So total GST payable on this 1 foot is say 10 lakh. तो अब क्या करने का, आपको exemption you have to calculate. How to calculate this exemption? 10 lakh into 900 by 1000. How much will it come to? 1 lakh is GST payable. Payable under I am sure you people are clear, but for my satisfaction, I will still repeat it. So please understand it once again. Exemption of the service of transfer of TDR or FSI is available to the promoter, but there is a capping. That capping is that the TDR or FSI related exemption is available only if you are constructing if you are constructing residential accommodations. So if in a project there is both, or rather there are both commercial as well as residential apartments, the amount of exemption is restricted to the residential apartments, which means GST is payable on the commercial shops, and as we had already seen earlier, that GST is payable by promoter under reverse charge mechanism. I hope I am clear. Okay. Now there is another scenario. Let me keep this here. Now there is another scenario. Out of this 1000, say 900 were out of this 900. What happened was the promoter was able to sell only 800 square feet of the project. So 100 remain unsold. Therefore, the government says, had you sold 100, we would have got our GST. The promoter is like, yes. So now you pay us GST. We know that it is not sold. And therefore, the government expects, or the government has mandated the promoter to pay GST on any unbooked area as well. Now, how to calculate GST on such unbooked area? It is something like this. Which remains unbooked. GST payable, that is again same thing, first thing, multiplied by the carpet area, which remains unbooked, divided by the total carpet area of the residential project. What is the GST payable? Exemption इतने का ही मिला ना आपको, multiplied by so what is the amount of GST payable over here? 1 lakh. Now understand, this 1 lakh is for commercial space and this 1 lakh is for unbooked amounts, which means that the benefit of exemption of this entry is available if and only if or rather it is restricted to the area that is sold. Any unsold area plus any commercial area is liable to GST. I hope I am clear and I hope that you are also clear. If there is any query, please feel free to ask.
Clear, sir.
Clear? Let us move on here. The next thing. Again, what is exempted is the upfront amount, grant of long-term lease on or after 1/4/19 for construction of residential accommodity, except again the things remaining same, whichever is earlier. Residential apartment, कितना exemption मिला है आपको? Total amount of premium or salami multiplied by the carpet area for residential purpose divided by the total carpet area. So याद रखना, the exemption is restricted to the residential premises only. अगर आप सोचते हो कि कमर्शियल प्रॉपर्टी पे भी आपको एग्जेम्पशन है, तो कोई एग्जेम्पशन नहीं. Continued further. Again, promoter shall be liable to pay GST on RCM basis. अपन ये चीज ऑलरेडी क्लियर कर चुके हैं. I hope entry number 41A and 41B is clear, whereas entry number 41A talks about transfer of development rights or floor space index. Entry number 41B talks about upfront amount for grant of long term lease. conceptually, mathematically, the way to calculate is same. However, the space where it is covered is different. And as I've already said, serial number याद रखने का जरूरत नहीं होता है, फिर भी ध्यान में रखिए. Entry number 42. Who is providing the service? Government. What is the service? By allowing a business to operate as a telecom service provider. Now you know that in the years 2012 to 2018-19, if I'm not 18-19, 2008-9 to 2015-16, there were a lot of service providers which used to provide telecom services. Now, in the past years, after the introduction of Jio, we have been reduced to 3, but before it, we had a lot of choices. Now, because obviously, you know, the government was also promoting कि भाई आप आओ, आप इंडिया में अपना mobile service provide करो. Therefore, they had given out an exemption to that impact. Now, why am I discussing all these entries over here? Because 2016 की बातें हैं ये तो सर. अब याद रखना, आपकी जो भी स्पेक्ट्रम फीस होती थी, now obviously they were in thousands of crores, and therefore the operators were allowed to pay all of this in parts, or rather in installments. Because they were allowed to pay up all this in installments, service tax was exempted. Because obviously on 1/4/2016, we were in the service tax regime and not in the GST. So when service tax was exempted, the government felt that, hey, we need to give out a certain or a similar benefit in GST as well, so that if an installment becomes due today, or rather in the year 2022, the taxpayer should not be asked to pay tax on that amount. Why? The answer to this why you would get in your section 14 of the CGST Act, that deals about changes in rate of tax. For time being, please understand it to this level. I hope I am clear. And also remember that the spectrum that you get may fluctuate. Therefore, there is a very good possibility that the amount of spectrum fees payable also change. So I hope I am clear till here. What is very simple. Services of leasing of assets by IRFC to Indian Railways. So which means कि जो भी अपने ट्रेन के डब्बे होते हैं, they do not belong to the Indian Railways, rather they belong to the IRFC. उन्होंने जो ट्रेन के डब्बे वगैरह है, they have given it on rent to the Indian Railways, and the Indian Railways is paying lease charges to them, which have been exempted from GST. 44. Services provided by an incubator up to a turnover of 50 lakh rupees in a financial year, namely, but in a financial year subject to the following conditions, namely, total turnover had not exceeded 50 lakh rupees in the preceding financial year, and a period of 3 years has not been elapsed from the date of entering into the agreement as an incubator. So what is this service? Who is the service provider? Incubator. Turnover अप टू 50 lakhs हो सकता है। 50 lakhs कैसे चेक होगा? इन अ फाइनेंशियल ईयर। Now what are the two conditions? Turnover should be less than or equal to 50 lakhs in which year? Previous financial year. So आपको previous financial year की turnover check करनी है and then decide करना है whether in the current financial year you are eligible for this exemption or you are not eligible for this exemption. And what is the second condition? Or rather, if I have to put it, this exemption is only for 3 years from incubity agreement. अब क्या होता है? Say year 1 में my turnover was say 25 lakhs. Year 2 में my turnover was 55 lakhs. Year 3 में am I allowed? Am I allowed? So year 3 में my services would become excellent. Year 4 में am I allowed? No. Why? Because 3 years are over. Clear है? Now we once again come back to the legal services. Legal services में अपन ने अब तक क्या देखा था? Liable to tax or not liable to tax? We had understood that it was liable to tax. It was liable to tax under which mechanism? Forward charge mechanism or reverse charge mechanism? We had understood that it was liable to tax under the reverse charge mechanism. Legal service, reverse charge mechanism, we are clear. Legal service also comes under the category of exemption. अब वो अपने को समझना है. Services provided by an arbitral tribunal. You know अपन ने पढ़ा था आर्बिट्रेशन के लिए गए थे, आर्बिट्रल ट्रिब्यूनल की सर्विसेज पर अपन ने आरसीएम पे किया था. एग्जेम्पशन भी है. कब है एग्जेम्पशन? इफ इट इज प्रोवाइडेड टू अ पर्सन अदर देन बिजनेस एंटिटी. सो अगर आप अपनी इंडिविजुअल कैपेसिटी में आर्बिट्रल ट्रिब्यूनल को अप्रोच करते हो, एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम इट इज एग्जेम्प्ट. निहाल एग्जांपल मिल सकता है? बिल्कुल. से निहाल चंद जैन पे से शिवी ने केस कर दिया. कैन बी एनी रीजन, बट नॉट रिलेटेड टू माय कोचिंग, not related to my firm, not related to anything that I do as a business individual. उसने मेरे पे as an individual केस किया. Say for example ले लेते ना, चलो मैंने कोई ट्वीट कर दिया, Shivi did not like it and Shivi is like this is targeted to me, so I am dragging you to court. And Nihal was like यार ऐसा क्या हो गया? She is like no, I did not like your tweet. So Nihal is like let us reach a agreement, let us approach a tribunal, sorry, rather let us go to an arbitral tribunal and let us go for an out of court settlement. She is like okay. So यहाँ पर निहाल को जो arbitral tribunal ने सर्विस दी है, it is in an individual capacity. So therefore जो सर्विस निहाल को मिली है, that is not liable to GST. I hope I am clear. A person, a business entity with a turnover, ठीक है. So यहाँ पर आपकी turnover पे condition specified है. Turnover conditions. 3 arbitral tribunal ने central government, state government, union territory government को service दी. Clear? Arbitral tribunal का? I believe yes.
Yes, sir.
Senior advocate. What do you mean by the term senior advocate? अरे इसके लिए पूछ रहा हूँ क्योंकि अगर सीनियर एडवोकेट का मीनिंग नहीं मालूम है ना, सर्विस क्या है समझेगा ही. क्योंकि ऊपर क्या लिखा है? firm of advocates or advocates. What do you mean by the term senior advocate? बोलो बोलो बोलो.
Those aren't that providing the services for more than 10 years.
नहीं यार. Senior advocates are advocates those practice in high courts and supreme courts, and other than those, all the advocates are categorized as advocates. So now let us understand first what is the service of a senior advocate. If you read 1, 2, 3 carefully, they are same as that of an arbitral tribunal. So मैंने जो भी चीजें arbitral tribunal के टाइम पे डिस्कस की जस्ट अभी, all of them are also equally, fairly and squarely applicable to the senior advocate as well. A question. A senior advocate has provided services to a firm of advocates. यहाँ पर क्या होगा? क्वेश्चन आंसर अभी नहीं चाहिए. आंसर पहले अपन एक एडवोकेट की सर्विस समझ लेंगे, पॉइंट नंबर बी की, उसके बाद में डिस्कस करेंगे. लेट अस कम. A partnership firm of advocates or an individual as an advocate other than a senior advocate by way of legal services to an advocate or a firm of advocates providing legal services. So यहाँ पर there is an advocate firm who has provided services to another advocate firm. Say for example, I am an advocate firm, but I only practice in labor laws. You are an advocate firm, but you only practice in taxation laws. So I have a client who comes that Nihal, I have received a notice for tax laws. I said I don't have that much exposure. So he's like, no, you only tackle it off and you only close it because we trust you. Now practically what will happen is I will go to my friend's advocate firm, say ये शिवी है और ये निहाल है. Nihal will approach Shivi and say, hey, we have to fight a case together. You do your billing on me, I would pay you. So this service provided by Shivi to Nihal is exempt. Are you clear?
Yes, sir.
The remaining 3 are same as this. Now if you understand, this sort of similar exemption is not available here, and therefore I have a question for you. What if a senior advocate provides services, or that is legal services, to a firm of advocates, whether it is liable to GST or it is not liable to GST? If it is liable to GST, whether it is under forward charge or whether it is under reverse charge mechanism.
It is liable for GST.
Under
RCM.
perfect. I hope now you are clear. When an arbitral tribunal services are liable to RCM, when a legal service is liable to RCM, and when it is exempt. Crystal clear with respect to this? Because even while discussing RCM, I had told that GTA का सर्विस वापस आएगा, आर्बिट्रल ट्रिब्यूनल का सर्विस वापस आएगा, लीगल सर्विसेज वापस आएगा. तीनों के तीनों तो आ चुके हैं. I hope I am very clear, and I hope you are also very clear about it.
Yes, sir.
सर्विसेज प्रोवाइडेड बाय वेटरनरी क्लिनिक. यार जानवरों का डॉक्टर है यार, थोड़ी सी दया भावना रखो. सो उस पे जीएसटी नहीं लेती गवर्नमेंट. गवर्नमेंट बोलती है We do not want to collect any sort of taxes if you are a vet. Services provided by central government, state government, union territory government, or local authority by way of registration requirement under any law for time being in force. आप जाते हो, आपको एक कंपनी इनकॉर्पोरेट करनी है. Now कंपनी इनकॉर्पोरेट करनी है तो you are following the Companies Act. That is a law in force. अब आप सबको मालूम है कि जब आप कंपनी इनकॉर्पोरेशन करते हो तो आपको चार्जेस पे करने पड़ते हैं. वो जो आप आरओसी को चार्जेस पे करते हो फॉर कंपनी इनकॉर्पोरेशन फीस, they are not liable to GST because that is a service provided by the central government as for registration as is required under the law that is in force. Second, testing, calibration, safety check or certifications relating to protection or safety of workers, consumers or public at large. Let's say for example, now we are in the times of COVID. The government says the government enters into an agreement with a with say any hospital for the time being, or rather say for any pathology lab for the time being. It says go to everybody's home, go to everybody's office, check whether they are COVID positive or they are not COVID positive. You do the checking, we shall pay it. You do the checking and we shall pay. Therefore, those services as provided by those laboratories for testing is not liable to GST. Now I hope I am clear.
Yes, sir.
FSSAI की सर्विस obviously food sample जाता है, they come out with the report whether it is say good consumable product or it is not a good consumable product. तो गवर्नमेंट बोलते हैं उस पे भी हमको पैसा नहीं चाहिए, हमको जीएसटी नहीं मांगता है. Services provided to, taxable services provided to or to be provided. So which means past service is also covered and future service is also covered. Provided or to be provided by whom? By a technology business incubator, science and technology entrepreneurship park as recognized, bio incubators as recognized. इनकी सारी की सारी सर्विसेज उन्होंने exempt कर दी. 49 services by way of Press Trust of India or United News of India by an independent journalist. ठीक है, वो तो क्या ही उस पे जीएसटी लोगे आप हमसे. सर्विसेज ऑफ पब्लिक लाइब्रेरी, लाइब्रेरी में आएंगे बच्चे, पढ़ेंगे, बड़े पढ़ेंगे तो इंडिया प्रोग्रेस करेगा. अगर इंडिया प्रोग्रेस करेगा तो देश प्रगति करेगा, देश प्रगति करेगा तो हमको जीएसटी नहीं चाहिए. व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू से इज जब आप लाइब्रेरी में एंट्री लेते हो तो वहां पर भी कुछ फीस पे करनी पड़ती है एज एंट्रेंस फीस. वो एंट्रेंस फीस पर जीएसटी नहीं लगता. अच्छा, 51 इज द सर्विस दैट आई लव द मोस्ट. इट सेज अगर जीएसटीएन ने आपको कोई भी सर्विस दी है और अगर आप सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट हो, फॉर इम्प्लीमेंटेशन ऑफ जीएसटी, therefore we do not want to charge any taxes on the love GST network. Services by an organizer in respect of an exhibition held outside India. Say for example, you are Shivi. Why is it not working? You are Shivi. You are a business organizer. Nihal approaches you. Shivi, I have an event in the United States of America. Please arrange. ये जो सर्विस है उस पर भी there is no tax paid. Obviously, I am a NRI. I hope I am clear.
Yes, sir.
Now, even if I am not an NRI, I would still get an exemption. Why? It is because to any person, it means I can be an NRI, I can be a resident, I can be a company, I can be an LLP, I can. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Sponsorship events. Was it liable to GST? Yes. Under RCM? Yes. अब अगर आपने ये वाली ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस को कोई भी स्पॉन्सरशिप सर्विस दी है तो दे आर एग्जेम्प्टेड. नेशनल स्पोर्ट्स फेडरेशन, इंडियन यूनिवर्सिटीज that promote, say, Sports Council for Deaf, Paralympic Committee of India, etc. Central Civil Services का अगर कुछ आप इवेंट करवाते हो एज अ पार्ट ऑफ नेशनल गेम अंडर पंचायत युवा क्रीड़ा एक्सेट्रा, तो सारी की सारी क्या है? एग्जेम्प्टेड. 53 है सर्विसेज बाय वे ऑफ फ्यूमिगेशन इन वेयर हाउस ऑफ एन एग्रीकल्चरल प्रोड्यूस. अब अपन सबको मालूम है कि अगर आप एग्रीकल्चरल प्रोड्यूस में हो तो फ्यूमिगेशन, दैट इज जो दवा ववा छिड़कवाने का बहुत ज्यादा रोल है एंड इट इज एक्सट्रीमली इंपॉर्टेंट एज वेल, बिकॉज अगर दवा नहीं छिड़कवाओगे तो अनाज में कीड़े पड़ जाएंगे. सो दैट वो कीड़े ना पड़े, दे हैव प्रोवाइडेड यू विथ एन एक्सेप्शन. 54 and all life forms of आपको एक स्टेटमेंट दिया. हेलो, am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, sir. You're audible.
You know, मैंने आपको एक स्टेटमेंट दिया था कि जिंदगी में याद रखना, राइस इज नॉट एन एग्रीकल्चरल प्रोड्यूस. अब जिंदगी में एक और चीज याद रखना, रेयरिंग ऑफ हॉर्स. रेयरिंग ऑफ हॉर्स इज always 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 for commercial purpose and therefore आप जब भी कोई ऐसे exemptions पढ़ रहे हो, they are for forms of animals. Whether Nihal says this or Nihal does not says this, rearing of horse को उसका exception ही मानना. अगर निहाल बोलना भूल भी जाता है कि इट इज नॉट एप्लीकेबल टू रेयरिंग ऑफ हॉर्सेस, आप प्लीज उसे समझ लें. आई होप आई एम क्लियर. दो चीज, राइस इन एग्रीकल्चरल प्रोड्यूस, रेयरिंग ऑफ हॉर्स इज ऑलवेज फॉर कमर्शियल पर्पसेस. माय क्लियर?
Yes.
For food, fiber, fuel, etc. by way of agricultural operations हो सकते हैं. अगर आप फार्म लेबर सप्लाई करते हो तो एग्जेम्प्टेड है. प्रोसेस इन एन एग्रीकल्चरल फार्म हो सकता है, बट which do not alter the essential characteristics of an agricultural produce. Say for example, tomato है, and if you are say cutting off those tomatoes, selling off those tomatoes in the market, so it is okay. Why? Because tomatoes are getting sold as tomatoes. However, अगर आपने वो टोमेटो को टोमेटो केचप बनाकर सेल किया या टोमेटो केचप बनाकर उसकी सप्लाई की, तो यू हैव altered the essential characteristic of the agricultural produce and therefore टोमेटो केचप पर जीएसटी लगेगा, लेकिन टोमेटो को अगर आप एज टोमेटो सेल करते तो उस पर जीएसटी नहीं लगेगा. I hope I am clear. Fourth, renting or leasing of agro machinery or vacant land with or without a structure incidental to its use. कोई एग्रीकल्चर रिलेटेड मशीनरी है जो आपने रेंट पे दी है. अगर आपने एक बिल्डिंग है जो एग्रीकल्चरल लैंड पे सिचुएटेड है, वो आपने फॉर द पर्पज ऑफ एग्रीकल्चर दी है, जब तो एग्जेम्प्टेड है. लेकिन से फॉर एग्जांपल आई हैव अ पीस ऑफ लैंड, एग्रीकल्चरल लैंड, वहां पर मैंने एक 3 स्टार होटल बनाया, वो होटल में रेंट पर दे रहा हूं, या रूम्स ऑफ दोज होटल आई एम गिविंग ऑन रेंट. तो प्लीज रिमेंबर, ये जो रूम्स ऑफ होटल रेंट पर दिया जा रहा है उस पर जीएसटी लगेगा. आई कैन नॉट से दैट इट इज एन एग्रीकल्चरल लैंड. तो ये जो बिल्डिंग खड़ी है दैट इज ऑल्सो यूज्ड फॉर द पर्पज ऑफ एग्रीकल्चर. व्हाट आई ट्राई to conclude is agricultural land या उससे रिलेटेड कोई स्ट्रक्चर है, उसका यूज अगर आप एग्रीकल्चर पर्पस के लिए करते हो जब तो आपको एग्जेम्पशन है, लेकिन उसका यूज अगर आप फॉर पर्पस अदर देन एग्रीकल्चर करते हो तो आपको एग्जेम्पशन नहीं मिलेगी. I hope I am. अब अपन ने पहले लोडिंग, अनलोडिंग, पैकिंग, स्टोरेज एटसेट्रा ऑफ राइस देखा था, स्पेसिफिकली ऑफ राइस. यहाँ पर वी हैव सीइंग इट ऑफ एन एग्रीकल्चरल प्रोड्यूस. एग्रीकल्चरल एक्सटेंशन सर्विस. फार्मर्स है हमारे, फार्मर्स अभी भी वो से बैल लेके जाते हैं and they complete their farming processes using blocks या bells. आप बोलते हो यार ट्रैक्टर चलाना सीख लो, तो educating the farmers is an agricultural extension service and therefore not, or rather therefore exempted from levy of GST. बहुत सारे एपीएमसी मार्केट्स होते हैं, वहां पर यू एज अ फार्मर कैन नॉट गो डायरेक्टली. आपको कंपलसरी एक एजेंट के थ्रू, दैट इज अरहाटिया के थ्रू ही जाना पड़ता है. अरहाटिया का काम क्या है, आपको पूछेगा, शिवी व्हाट इज द क्विंटल्स ऑफ wheat that you have produced. You say I have produced 10 quintals of wheat. Give me the best rate possible. The person would go over there. He would say, मेरे पास में 10 क्विंटल माल है. Tell me the rate and this is my commission. ये जो सर्विसेज है तो एजेंसी सर्विस, बट स्टिल exempted from GST. Services by way of fumigation of an agricultural produce, that has also been exempted. 55. Carrying out an intermediate process, that is आप एक जॉब वर्क कर रहे हो, but that job work is in relation to cultivation of plants and rearing of life forms of animals. याद रखना, जॉब वर्क है, जॉब वर्क जनरली टैक्सेबल होता है, बट अगर आप कल्टीवेशन ऑफ प्लांट्स या रेयरिंग ऑफ ऑल लाइफ फॉर्म्स के लिए कर रहे हो तो दैट हैज बीन एग्जेम्प्टेड. एनिमल्स इंक्लूड्स हॉर्स? नो. 55. Services by way of artificial insemination of livestock other than horses. Services by way of slaughtering of animals, exempted. Services by way of preconditioning, pre-cooling, ripening, waxing, retail packaging, labeling is also exempt. But remember, that the basic element or the essential character of the fruits or the vegetable should not change, which means आप एप्पल को वैक्स करके बेच रहे हो जब तक ठीक है, आप अगर एप्पल का एप्पी फिज बनाकर बेच रहे हो तो वो नहीं कवर्ड है. सर्विसेज प्रोवाइडेड बाय नेशनल सेंटर फॉर कोल्ड चेन डेवलपमेंट, ठीक है, and farmers way for cold chain development. So this is again a specific business related exemption, cold chain development. फॉरेन डिप्लोमेटिक मिशन क्या होते हैं? मिशन
ऐसी
क्या क्या?
ambassadors.
Embassies, ambassadors, correct, correct. What is their role? They are, say, Rajduts or embassies of a foreign nation. Therefore, their role is to promote peace and harmony between the two nations and ensure that the peace and harmony stays. Important for country as a whole, therefore exempt. Services by a specified organization in respect of a religious pilgrimage facilitated by the government of India under bilateral agreement. As far as my memory goes, there were two specified organizations. One जो अपनी अमरनाथ यात्रा करवाता है, and second जो हज करवाता है. Both of them were specified. 61st. Passport, visa, driving license, birth certificate, death certificate. They are all the sovereign functions of the central government, and therefore they have been exempted. Services provided by central government by way of tolerating an act or non-performance of a contract. आपसे for example इसका बहुत simple example देता हूँ. आप बाइक चला रहे थे, आप कार चला रहे थे, आपने सिग्नल तोड़ दिया, ओके, आपको पुलिस वाले ने पकड़ लिया. आप ईमानदार, आप बोलते हो मैं रिश्वत नहीं दूंगा, आप चालान फाड़ो. उसने वो चालान फाड़ा, तो वो जो पेनल्टी आपने पे की, वो जो फाइन आपने पे किया फॉर जंपिंग द सिग्नल, वो फाइन पर जीएसटी नहीं. आई होप आई एम क्लियर. एंड सिमिलरली अगर आपका रेसिपिएंट गवर्नमेंट है, आपने और गवर्नमेंट ने कॉन्ट्रैक्ट एंटर किया है दैट आई वुड सप्लाई यू a particular items within particular time frames, but आप नहीं कर पाए. गवर्नमेंट ने आपसे liquidated damages claim किया for non performance of the contract. Even such liquidated damages have been exempted from GST. Next 62 हो गया ना, 63. Right to use natural resource. Natural resource belongs to the government or the owner of land. Who is the owner of land? Government. Government ने individual farmer को cultivation of plants, life forms of animals except horses के लिए land दिया है. लैंड गवर्नमेंट का है, गवर्नमेंट बोलते हैं ये ले, यूज माय नेचुरल रिसोर्स, दैट इज यूज माय लैंड एंड कल्टीवेट प्लांट्स सो दैट एवरीबॉडी कैन ईट. सर्विसेज प्रोवाइडेड बाय गवर्नमेंट्स एक्सेट्रा by way of assignment of right to use any natural resources, wherein such rights or other such right to use was assigned by the government before a particular date, that is before 1460. Whereas 63 talks about right to use natural resources for an individual farmer for agricultural produce. Entry number 64 says assignment of right to use any natural resource, which means यहाँ पे ये एंट्री में अदर देन फार्मिंग रिलेटेड जितने भी नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज है जो आपका जिसका आपको राइट टू यूज मिला है कवर होते हैं. एग्जाम्पल कोल माइन. कोल माइन यूज करने के लिए आपको गवर्नमेंट को चार्जेस पे करने पड़ते हैं. नाउ प्लीज नोट that this exemption shall apply only to the one time charge paid. Okay, which means कि आप जो भी नेचुरल रिसोर्स गवर्नमेंट से लेते हो वहां पर आपको दो टाइप के चार्जेस होते हैं. पहला वन टाइम चार्ज और दूसरा रेगुलर पेमेंट ऑफ रेंट और लीज. तो जो रेगुलर रेंटल पेमेंट्स है उस पर जीएसटी लगता है और जो वन टाइम अमाउंट पेएबल है उस पर जीएसटी नहीं लगता. रिमेंबर दैट द अमाउंट so payable can be paid either upfront or in installments. I hope I am clear. Services provided by the central government, state government, UT government for deputing officers after their office hours or on holidays for inspection or container stuffing duties, etc., in relation to import or export of cargo on payment of merchant overtime charges. Simply put, merchant overtime charges are exempted from GST because the government says that हमारा अगर कोई भी ऑफिसर है वो अगर अपने ऑफिस आवर्स में काम करता है उसकी तो हम उसको सैलरी दे रहे हैं, लेकिन अगर वो आफ्टर ऑफिस आवर्स काम करता है तो हमारा राइट बनता है दैट वी कॉम्पेंसेट. सो सच कॉम्पेंसेशन पे हम उसको एक्स्ट्रा पेमेंट करेंगे, वो एक्स्ट्रा पेमेंट पर जीएसटी नहीं लगेगा. I hope I am clear. Entry number 65A. Services by way of providing information under RTI Act. Now 65B needs to be understood very nicely. And 65B के लिए the space provided here is very small. Just let me open my whiteboard. Is the whiteboard visible?
No, sir. No, sir.
Just a second, this application has stopped. Is the screen visible now?
No, sir.
This technology is one challenge I feel.
Yes, sir. Based on internet.
Okay, so but you can still see entry number 65B.
Yes, I can see.
Okay. Now I'm sure you can also see the whiteboard. Can you see the whiteboard now?
Yes, sir. I can see the whiteboard.
Arey wah, finally. Now I cannot see it.